Hey guys, how we going? Going good? Awesome. My name's Ciaron. I'm 19 years old. I've been travelling around recently. I was in London, and the London Eye was closed for maintenance. I was just like, really? That's the main reason you go to London? You know, it's like going to Sydney and finding out that the harbour bridge is closed. You know, going to Adelaide and finding out that your connecting flight's being cancelled. Like, yeah, wish I got the same response in Adelaide. Yeah, so I got the vibe, like a lot of you are looking at me going, this guy must go to the gym a lot. And I do. I go 5 times a week. I'm the receptionist. That's how that works. There's this personal trainer there that likes to bully me, and I don't like to bully him back because he's got that thing that makes you a bit slow. He's got a TAFE qualification.
And so it goes on. Beat Magazine says of my first guest today, one of the best young comics in the country. On the stage since the age of 14, Ciaron Lyons is in Melbourne as part of the Comedy Festival. His show is called Adulthood. Ciaron's on the line right now. How are you, pal?
Hey, thank you so much for having me and playing that clip at the start. It reminded me of a gig a year ago. So
2016, yeah. I had to stop it right there because I got a huge laugh out of that. And there was other things I can't broadcast on radio coming into there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you get my drift. But it was a heck of a funny show you did. It was really...
Oh, thank you very much.
Really, really good, mate. Really good indeed. Tell me, the age of 14, what sort of comedy were you doing at 14?
Oh, it probably wasn't the best. I mean, I was 14 years old and my parents had to, sign me into gigs all the time. So my parents were coming, so that was always on my mind. And most of the jokes were actually pretty much about them as well. So especially, my first gig, when I was 14, my dad came and he didn't have any idea what to expect, and then realised 80% of the material was just jokes about him.
Yes.
And
yes.
Not clean stuff either for a 14-year-old to be saying.
Well, nothing much has changed because that show I saw from 2016, you were getting stuck into your mother.
Yeah, they got pretty annoyed because they didn't know that I was using their actual name. So you can talk about us, but as long as you're not using our actual names, because that one was broadcast on nationally. So
yes, I know.
Yeah, people knew my second name, and then we're putting two and two together. Yeah. Like, oh, Michelle, was that you? He was
Michelle Lyons. And the phone went.
Together.
Well, I meant to say you exposed so much there about your mother. It was very, very funny. Has she gotten over that now?
Yeah, I think she's just got used to it now. It's just she sort of has to. For the while she was like, oh, can you just say my name's Sally or something? And now it's just whatever.
Well, it's pretty hard to backtrack when you've said now my mum, isn't it? I mean, to say you can say Sally, my mum, but they've only got to go online or in the phone book and find out who you
exactly,
really are.
Yeah,
so,
it's not that hard, especially people that already know me. It's not
that's right.
Not have any idea who I'm talking about.
Ciaron, what led you into comedy?
I sort of just saw it on the television and thought I'd give it a shot. I actually was watching, funny enough, I was watching a show called Australia's Got Talent when I was about 14 and saw a comedian called The Old Fella who who does a lot around Australia. He came runner-up. And it was funny because he was probably one of the first live comedians that I saw. And last year and the year before, we actually ended up touring together. We had a show together called The Old Fella and the Young Fella.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I think he's marvellous.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Very funny comedian. And I was lucky enough to tour with him around regional West Australia, the Adelaide Fringe, and maybe a couple of Victorian shows as well. Mm-hmm. It was a really good experience.
Tell me about your comedy. You draw some, of course, from your parents. Who else do you draw from?
Basically just life in general, anything. I mean, as a 20-year-old, it's pretty hard because you don't have much life experience. So I literally just have to pour it from wherever it comes from. So tiny little things, my parents would be like, "Really, you're going to use that in your jokes?" I'm like, "Well, I've got nothing else. I don't have kids. I don't have a marriage to talk about. Marriage. Once you have a marriage, I feel like you're set in comedy forever. But
you might be set for a divorce as well.
Yeah, then you've got a whole other hour show. Once a divorce happens, you're set.
I can see where you're heading with this. Of course, your show is called Adulthood, so that's what you're saying. You're coming out of the teenage years. You're 20 now. You're looking at adulthood, are you?
Yeah, basically, it's quite it's a weird title that I named adulthood because it's not really about adulthood. It's like coming to the age of 20, which is pretty much the end of the show, like me moving out of home. That's where I get to talking about jokes. So in reality, it should just be called like pre-adulthood or something, out of puberty, graduate, I don't know.
Adolescence.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Adulthood in adolescence.
But it just doesn't sound good as a show name.
I think adulthood sounds really great.
Yeah, like I think it suits a show name a bit better than adolescence. It sounds a bit weird.
Ciaron, as a kid, did you go around the house, you mentioned a little bit of this before, but did you go around the house cracking jokes and making funny sounds and noise and your parents say, for goodness sake, shut up?
Oh, not really. Oh, actually, yeah, it was quite annoying when I was younger. Like my parents were always telling me to like be more mature and everything when I was really young. But I'd always loved like cracking jokes with friends and just trying to be the funny guy. And yeah, I guess like just being silly, which sort of led me into doing comedy when I saw it on the TV. I was like, oh, like I might give this a shot because I wasn't very good at piano. Well, I was. My parents thought I was, and they wanted me to do it still.
Yeah.
But, I gave that up.
So what grade did you get to in piano?
What made me get into piano?
No, what grade did you get to?
Oh, I forgot. No, I actually got really good marks in a performing arts 1 year, and my parents bring it up all the time, because they just bought this really nice piano, and then about 6 months later, I gave it up. So it was quite devastating for them.
But there's a whole thing you can introduce into your comedy act, isn't there?
Oh, definitely, but I haven't played piano in so long. I mean, I can still read the music, which is great, and I guess one day I might actually, bring it back. And
you're giving me so many lines here because you could be taking off the piano teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could be that guy, or even just like starting a style of comedy like Bo Burnham has done so well. Musical comedy works a treat with the audiences.
Of course,
it definitely stands out in a lineup if everyone else is just doing stand-up comedy.
Now, if our listeners are trying to place who you are, of course, you were on the project, weren't you? You were a reporter on the project, from memory.
Yeah, I was the Perth guy.
Yes.
So, whenever they crossed over to Perth, I was one of the regular guys that they would say, what's going on in Perth? And there wasn't a lot going on, to be honest, most of the time over there. But when there was stuff going on, it was great. And one time, because it's so far away, like Perth is the other side of the country, when they crossed over to me, the line had cut out, so we thought it was a commercial break. And the TV camera guys told me it was a commercial break, but it was actually live in the air. So I was literally just like licking my lips and looking at the camera, and everyone was just shouting at me going, "Oh, Ciaron, go, it's your turn." And they just missed out on me. So a lot of Perth people thought I was taking the mickey and took it out on Twitter on me, but I literally had no idea that I was live on air.
You must have kept a copy of that, surely.
Oh, definitely. I've got a great copy. It goes for like 35 seconds, and it's pretty awkward, and I just bring it up every time. I love rewatching it, to be honest.
That could be part of your next audition for a TV show somewhere, couldn't it?
Yeah, if you want a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, here you go.
That sounds good to me. Where are you going to head after all of this is over? Comedy for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, as long as it goes ahead and people keep paying me to do it, I guess there's no other reason why I shouldn't. I mean, I'm doing Sydney Comedy Festival straight after Melbourne Comedy Festival, and then a couple of other festivals. And yeah, just working away, trying to work on my show again for next year, because I guess you only have a couple more months, and then Melbourne rolls around so quickly again. So
and Ciaron, do you see yourself doing another solo sort of gig coming around, and perhaps back to Melbourne or Adelaide or Sydney or something, and doing a solo show?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'd love to do it every year. That's like what most comedians do to like build their reputation. So definitely, I'd love to come back next year, which means it's going to be pretty intense. Just getting an hour. I mean, I've had like 4 years to get this 1 hour together, and it means I've literally got 11 months after this to get a whole new hour together. So
I suppose with that experience you got up your sleeve now, though, it probably would only take the 10 or 11 months to do it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping. A lot less partying and just head down and just getting this new hour together.
I can hear your passion. You've got a real passion for what you do, so keep at it. And you've got a great publicist there in Melbourne, in Di Roland. I'm sure that between you, you're going to go places, mate. You sound really, really great. I love what I said on YouTube, and congratulations. You're a great talent, and let's hope that you foster those areas and you go for it. And we see your name up there on TV and in lights as time goes on. And 20 years' time, I can say, golly, I interviewed that chap when he was nothing. And there he is today. He's in lights. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Ciaron, I wish you well, mate. Continue with your show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. You're at the Forum, aren't you?
Yeah, the Forum Theatre every night at 7:15.
Look forward to that very, very much. You take care, pal. Thanks for the day.
Thanks very much.
Okay, bye-bye to you. Ciaron Lyons there, nice chap, and telling us all about his foray into the comedy world. And you can go and see him at the Forum Theatre. And, of course, you can go direct and book that straight away online if you want to. It's all there for you.